This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman and Riley Smith. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Dustin Hoffman.
Well, good day, everybody, and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Today is Thursday, August the 26th, 2022. We're so glad you could join us. Can't wait to be seeing a lot of you at the Farm Progress Show coming up next week in Boone. Well, coming up on today's show, well, Truterra had a conservation-minded field day right before the Iowa State Fair, and I was out there. We'll talk with the folks there and recap what they're talking to farmers about and also talking to elevators about to help increase yields and protect the soil health and water health here in Iowa. We'll also take a look at that ag weather outlook, and of course, it was a beautiful day here today. But first, let's go ahead and run down those markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
We're at the end of another trading day. In fact, it's Friday, and we turn to Nathan Cardwell of agmarket.net. Nathan, what has been going on here to end this wild week we've been seeing?
It was a strong buying week to end the month of August. It looked like funds were buying all week. It drove the markets up to the highs. It looks like today we are going to be closing near the highs on both corn and beans. All week, we've been seeing higher highs, also higher lows. So it's been strong to see this movement. Some of that could have been from the pro-farmer tour that's been going on. From what we're hearing, it's not been good. A lot of the estimates of the yields have been lower than expected year over year, also well below the USDA estimates. So all for the exception of Minnesota, which is, I guess, a little bit close to the estimate. But other than that, a lot of these states have fallen short due to the dryness. Is that priced in from what we saw this week? Time will tell. We'll see what the market wants to do on Sunday night. All in all, though, it has been a very strong week.
You know, and coming from that tour, you know, having Minnesota put up numbers that are bigger than Iowa's is usually a big deal. Now, it's not as many acres as what Iowa produces, but still it's quite a few, and it's a big part. But what was really interesting, I think, from our end was that Iowa came in not as bad as that they were expecting. And in fact, the places that they were expecting to be really bad weren't quite so bad. And where we were low really wasn't indicative that it was a bad crop. It's just that they were lower numbers.
Yeah, it was a surprise to see Iowa as a whole come in at 184. USDA has Iowa and Illinois both over 200. We do have to remember that the crop tour did go through the worst drought area of the country. So does that mean that we already know what the worst could be? We still don't know what the best could be. So we'll see if this is priced in or if the market still has some shocks for us.
Now, outside of the tour, I mean, what other things are weighing on those markets outside influences there?
Couple things. Surprisingly, today was a really risk-off mentality in the equities. Metals sold off. Oil was under pressure. So to see the grains kind of trade in this fashion with all of those headwinds was kind of very, very strong and supportive. Overall, the exports came out this week as well, but we really didn't get the numbers because they were pulled back from USDA. So we're still waiting to get confirmation on what was the demand for this week. So we'll see all in all how everything plays out. I think we still have more questions.
And now turning to the livestock side of things, I mean, normally when grain prices are going high, livestock doesn't like that and goes lower, but these have been anything but normal weeks that we've been having. How did livestock react today?
Yeah, taking a look, cattle continued the same pressure it's been seeing all week. It did reach overbought territory. The grains were higher as well, so that could have made cattle a little bit of an easier sell. We did also hear that slaughter has been higher on the week, but cash has been lower. So we're waiting to see if the Labor Day demand is also going to maybe find us some support, or if that's already priced in. Hoping that we can see 142.50. If we're lucky, we'll find that support and maybe get a little bit of a bounce.
Go ahead.
I was going to mention on hogs real quick, taking a look at hogs, they have also been under pressure, just like the cattle. Hogs did find support at 93, bounced to 97, but then found momentum on the downside. Now we're down near 90. Hopefully we can find support here as well. Still looking for to see some higher hog prices just because of the way August went off at 120. To see October down here at 90 is pretty wide.
And it's just been weird for hogs too. I mean, last week, to begin the week, they came out with really strong out of the gate. And then from there, they've just like been grasping at anything to hang on while they've been sliding. I mean, what's been the overall concern there?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm not really sure if it's fundamental with not enough demand coming out of China, or if it's just a technical correction. Again, I'd like to see some support come in here and then all the livestock.
And of course, China's really been throwing a monkey wrench both into grains and livestock. Just, they look like they may need to import more because of their drought, but their economic situation hasn't made it easy to import more either.
No, it hasn't. I mean, it's a question mark all the way around. I mean, you got the U.S. that's dry, the EU, you got China, Russia, Argentina. Seems like everybody's dry. So if everybody seems to have some sort of a weather issue, that might weigh on yield and production across the whole world.
Just looks like things are tough all over. Well, Nathan, a lot of great information. If folks want to talk market strategies with agmarket.net, what's the best way for them to get in touch?
Yeah, give us a call at 844-424-6758, and anybody will be happy to help.
All right, Nathan. Well, we thank you for the information, and we look forward to talking to you again real soon.
Have a great day. Thank you.
That again was Nathan Cardwell of agmarket.net. Let's run down those closing numbers, courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart.
September corn up 11 1/4 at 668 3/4. December up 14 1/4 at 664 1/4. September beans up 52 3/4 at 1605 1/4. November up 30 at 1461 1/4. Soy meal up $15.40 at 434.10 per ton. Soy oil up $1.18 at 67.92. Chicago wheat up 16 1/4, 805 1/4. Minneapolis up 13 3/4 at 909 1/2. Kansas wheat up 16 at 882 1/4. Oats down 5 3/4 at 402 1/2. October live cattle down 60 cents at 143.05. Feeders down $2.05 at 182.20. Lean hogs down 45 cents at 90.65. Pork cutouts 47 cents lower at 101.35. Class 3 milk up 2 cents at 20.13.
And that's been our Ag Market Recap. We're going to take a short break here on Ag Matters PM, and when we come back, we're going to hear from the folks at Truterra. But right now, a message from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to AMPM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Dustin Huffman. Well, back on August 10th, the day before the state fair, Truterra and WinField United, part of Land O'Lakes, held a conservation-minded field day up in Vincent, Iowa. We had the chance to get up there and talk with the folks there, see some of the things they're talking with farmers about with conservation, cover crops, things like that. And we also got to see some demonstrations of different techniques, things that you need to think about when you're spraying to kill some cover crops. Also, just different kinds of soil types, things like that you may run into. I had a chance to talk with Mariah Murphy with Truterra, and here's what she had to tell us.
We are spending the whole day learning about soil health, learning about how does a farmer make a practice transition, how do they take advantage of some of these new cool ecosystem market opportunities that are available in the marketplace, and what are the things that they need to do to be able to participate.
Now at this event, there's obviously different stations talking about whole different techniques, different things that they need to learn. What kind of things are out here today for those people?
Yeah, so we're going to be doing everything from a drone demonstration. We're going to be looking at cover crop mixes that will fit for specific geographies, that will work for specific tillage rotations and systems. And then we also have some really cool things that we've done. So like we will have what is called a soil your undies. So we have buried some underwear where you will be able to see the active biology in the soil, and that will be based on a conventional till system, a strip till system, and then a full no-till system. And you can see how active that biology is in the soil as it eats away at that actual underwear. You can see just what the actual level of soil activity is from each of those systems.
Why is it important for Truterra to be involved in something like this?
Yeah, we feel really strongly that in order for us to be able to scale sustainability, we need to be able to make it profitable for the farmer and our ag retailers that are supporting this. And so we are here to help showcase how exactly we can do that. We want to make sure that our ag retailers and our farmers are in the best position possible to get that ROI as they start transitioning to some of these new practices.
Now, we know right now that a lot of these practices are voluntary. Is this something you maybe see coming down the road that it may not be for much longer?
Yeah, I think there's always kind of that risk of everything going to more of a regulatory stance. I think where we as Truterra stand today is that we are going to fight very hard and advocate very strongly for everything to continue to be in that voluntary market. Now, do we know that some of those things are out of our control? Of course, but for us, our position is that we want it to always maintain that voluntary status.
Are you seeing more, though, of an uptake into some of these cover crops and other regenerative practices in the soil?
Yeah, definitely. I think, for me, when I started in the industry 9 years ago, you can see a general trend of farmers wanting to be more progressive and try new things. And so I can confidently say that specifically, in the areas that I live, we are starting to see many more cover crop applications, a lot more tillage transition. So I would say, yes, we're starting to see that.
Now, obviously, like you said, if it's still up to choice, there's still a lot of farmers that are hesitant about making these choices. What kind of message can we bring to them to at least consider it?
Yeah, I think the first thing is start small, right? This isn't something that, you probably want to go whole farm on the first year. We want to make sure that you have, ample time to try it, that you have the support behind it, that you are able to ask questions to the appropriate people, that you utilize a peer network. If you know a farmer that has already done this, don't be afraid to ask them. I think most farmers are very willing to share their story about how they transitioned to a new practice. And so I would say, between those three things, that's exactly how I would go about it.
How else is Truterra involved in this kind of practice? I mean, obviously hosting a field day like this and being there to help the companies and also the farmers. I mean, what kind of support do you offer year round?
Yeah, so year-round support, we have a strong network of 50 ag retailers. Those ag retailers are tied really closely with our sister business, WinField United and Land O'Lakes. And so we have that agronomic support that's coming from the WinField United system. And then we also are able to provide just other agronomic support through our transitional advisors. So we have 3 actual transitional advisors that are really experts in the soil health space. They are really excelling at regenerative ag practices, and so we also have access to them as well. And then the third thing that I would say is that we also have a partnership with Farm Mobile, and so we know that the data collection process can be very burdensome when you start talking about getting into one of these practices or getting into a carbon market. And so we have also partnered with Farm Mobile to really mitigate all of the data collection pieces that come with that.
All right, and if farmers that aren't here in Iowa and that we're covering today want to find out more about what Truterra does and how they can get involved, what is the best way for them to find that information?
Yeah, so 2 things. You can either find an Iowa ag retailer that is associated with Truterra, or you can go to our website, truterraag.com, and you will have a contact us link, and we would be more than happy to work with anybody that wants to join.
That again was Mariah Murphy of Truterra. Let's run down that ag weather outlook. Beautiful day here in Des Moines. Very nice as we get closer to the end of summer. Still hanging on there with a little bit of the warmer temperatures, but not overbearing. Now, it looks like it might get a little warmer, maybe just a little rocky here starting tomorrow and into the weekend. Let's see what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours.
And as we said, it was foggy to start the day, and then the sun broke through. An absolutely beautiful day today across most of Iowa. We saw highs ranging anywhere from the upper 70s to the mid-80s. Now tonight, variably cloudy skies across the state. We'll see clouds start to build in from the west. Chance of isolated showers and storms possible in the west, and we're looking for highs pretty varied from the upper 50s to almost 70 degrees. And then tomorrow, we're going to see mostly cloudy skies, some sunshine maybe peeking through now and then across most of the state. Chance of showers to start the day in the west, but most of those chances build into the central and eastern parts of the state here in the afternoon. We'll see highs ranging anywhere from the low 80s to around 90. Looking at the affiliate weather map, we can see that Cherokee and Waterloo, both mostly cloudy skies, a chance of showers and storms at about 40%, highs 84. Shenandoah is going to be partly sunny with a 40% chance of showers and 87. Des Moines will be mostly cloudy, a few peaks of sun, and about a 50 to 60% chance of showers and storms and 90. Albia will be partly sunny and 88 with about a 20% chance of showers. Clinton is partly sunny and 83 with absolutely no call for rain as of right now.
For more detailed forecasts in your area, tune to your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been our Ag Weather Outlook. And with that, we're at the end of today's show. You can find all our content online at iowaagnet.com. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and also follow us on our YouTube channel. You can find past episodes of AMPM, and also don't forget to hit that bell icon and subscribe when you get notified every time we put out our next AMPM episode. Don't forget about our free twice daily podcast that you'll catch on Amazon, Apple, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the IARN studios in Des Moines, I'm Dustin Huffman. For Riley Smith and Mark Magnuson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.